Going. Happy Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I think so. It's been a long day today, but a very awesome day. And I'm here with my friend Troy Johnston from Seller.Tools, and we're gonna do a cool tool review today. You guys know that we always do these cool tool reviews and we focus on one element of a tool that you should actually care about. Because there's so many tools out there. There's a million different tools and people get overwhelmed. And they're always asking me, Amy, what tool do you use for this? Or what tool do you use for that? And so, or what is the most valuable Amazon tool? And I can never answer that with just one tool because there are so many cool tools. So I started doing these cool tool reviews and getting into that one aspect of a tool that you think is really valuable. So today, Troy is going to show us how we can optimize our listings for free using his Chrome extension. And so we're going to get into that and demo that tool a little bit. And you guys that are listening, say hello, give us a hello in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And Troy, why don't we start by telling everybody a little bit about you and how did you get into this e-commerce thing?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, thank you, Amy, so much for inviting me on and giving me the chance to break down our free Chrome extension and some of those more specific features that we offer. But yeah, a little bit about me. I started selling on Amazon back in 2016, which now feels like many lifetimes ago. So I've seen Amazon in a variety of forms.
Those were the good old days back in 2016, man.
yeah. Back, there were simpler times. They were simpler times, but I've weathered through. I like to think all those changes that we've seen. Amazon can sort of age you, and so you kind of have to be patient with it, manage your stress, and it was really great times to get into this type of business. And I think nowadays it's more like it's more similar to a traditional business where you really have to build something substantial, something meaningful, engage with an audience, do a lot of just the business foundation, building that before coming to market, where I was very fortunate to get started where, if you brought the capital and the money into the space and you had enough know-how and the willingness to invest, we just saw really great exponential returns. So yeah, I got started then in the beauty space and category. Ended up building that brand and selling it just under 3 years into building it to about 27 SKUs total, and then moved on from that to advising clients, consulting for different Amazon brands, and also equally competitive categories, the supplement space and beauty. And so I've always kind of gravitated towards these really competitive, very saturated, and from having run a brand in that type of category, it can get a little cutthroat. It can get very competitive. That was the negative side, let's say, of getting in at that point in time, is that we had a lot of, competitors would miscategorize you. They would abuse seller support. Like, it would just get really ugly. So hence why I was really glad to sell, move on to consulting, advising, and then to what I focus on today with my team and partners at Seller.Tools is developing solutions and features that we want as Amazon sellers, that will give us an advantage, meaningful data, optimization strategies, automation, so we can keep our teams really small and use tools to essentially replace people, because that's far more cost effective. And that's what we focus on today. And same goes with, what we do now with the Chrome extension and some of the free features there.
Cool. Yeah. I think, all of us, when I started selling on Amazon in 2007.
Oh, geez.
It was like I wasn't serious then. It was just like a hobby. I was selling my textbooks, and like used things and thrift store finds and nothing. It was definitely like a little side hustle and nothing too serious. I didn't get into private label until 2017. So, but either way, I've seen the changes on Amazon throughout the years. And I think that all of us realize when we start taking e-commerce seriously, Amazon or not, when we start taking our business very seriously and growing, we realized the need to automate things, right? I think that we like lost Troy for a second there. His camera's like
I think my
gone.
camera just, I just
Oh,
had to shift to
wow.
this one. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Hey, I mean, at least you have another camera that works
Hey,
well. I think this might be an even better angle of
you
you.
think so? You like this one better? Okay. Well, hey, I might have to stick to this one now.
Well, I'm glad you came back. That's good. But I was just talking about the need to automate things. We all have a need, whether we design. I know my podcast partner on the Seller Roundtable, Andy, or not, he actually created his software tools out of the necessity to automate his own business. And I don't have the skill to create software tools, at least not on my own. But there are certain things that I would hate to do without a tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things like listing optimization and keyword research. Yeah, there's some art that goes into copywriting, and I think people should learn those arts. But in terms of keyword research and in terms of being able to compare lots of different listings and data all at once, I mean, I would feel lost without my tools
Yeah.
when it comes to that. Let's see, PPC, I can do without a tool. As long as I don't have too many SKUs and too much to manage. But PPC, I can do with Amazon's tool, right? Let's see, what else? What are your key things that you would say you would not want to do without a tool?
Yeah, I mean, I think you brought up keywords. I think that's a really great example. We would joke as a team, what we used to do is, we'd sit around for a handful of hours and a few beers and, pull up a spreadsheet, run auto suggest and keep running. You do all these things to kind of come up with a keyword list. And
Yeah.
that's truly what we did, way back when, because even tools were still trying to get their feet underneath them. They were using other data sources, so it wasn't super reliable just yet. And so you had to go to the source in Amazon, and the only way to get it was to manually type things in, add them to spreadsheets, try to manipulate that data. And then you'd still have to manage that data because you'd want to watch your tracking as you're launching against different keywords. So things have definitely evolved. This is where, we talk about sort of those early days, some of the advantages. I think sellers now, where some of the advantages lie, if they can really, get their hands on it, is with these tools where data, optimization, automation, those three pillars, tools have just gotten a lot better in those three different categories. And
Yeah.
it's made sellers' lives easier.
I love the other tools that the other areas that I love to have tools in is keeping track of your numbers in business, right? Because there's so much. We can do it in spreadsheets, and I still use spreadsheets because I like to manually calculate things. I don't always trust the tools. I like to trust but verify, right?
There you go.
So I like to still run my own numbers in spreadsheets and do all of that. But I'm so thankful for tools that keep track of profits after Amazon advertising, profits at the ASIN level, that kind of stuff. I think that's another thing that I would not want to keep track of manually. So listing optimization, keyword research, that kind of stuff. So today you have a tool called Seller.Tools, and you're only going to show us one little aspect of it today. But whenever I do cool tool reviews, I reach out to people like Troy and I say, okay, what is the one thing about your tool that you think is different than other tools and is really, really cool and valuable for sellers? And you chose this aspect of your tool. Do you want to tell us what you're going to be showing us today?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I love to break down and kind of share today is the free Chrome extension. And there are specific areas that it covers that are just aimed at making your life easier as a seller. Whether it's the ticker that I'm going to highlight, some of the data that we make available. So we have brand analytics plus some exclusive metrics, some things that you can really only get through Seller.Tools. And then the third thing, last but not least, is the listing quality score, LQS, through the Chrome extension. And, probably the biggest reason why I picked it as one to highlight is that not only is this tool and feature free, but it's one that we as a team, as brand owners ourselves, we're kind of really excited to have live. Like, we wanted to have it run it through our own listings, see where we're, any missed opportunities, missed revenue, opportunities to further optimize our Amazon presence. We wanted to take full advantage of it and quantify it too, be able to clearly see what steps we needed to take to make sure that we were from 0 to 100%. Our footprint on Amazon, we know e-commerce customer can only experience our product through the assets that the real estate we have on Amazon. So making sure you have that as optimal as possible is a huge part of the overall equation. So that's probably why I picked it. And like I said, it was one that we were excited to have ourselves, running our own brands.
All right. Well, I'm going to be tough on you today because
Okay.
I love listing optimization. It's my bread and butter. And, I have seen a lot of cool tools. I think so far, my favorite cool tool that is an extension that goes over the top of Amazon is one that we saw from Zon Guru. They had a really neat tool that also showed brand analytics data, and we did that cool tool review. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to see something cool about your tool today too. So we'll check it out. Definitely. I can't wait. I feel like it's so good to see different tools, even if they're pulling brand analytics data. Both tools are pulling brand analytics data, for example. It's great to be able to compare and see which one presents the data in a way that is more useful for you. So I'm looking forward to that, because sometimes I'll use the same tool in different ways. Like I love to use Helium 10 Cerebro and Seller app to pull reverse search keywords, because they each present the data in different ways. And I can then compare it with each other and get the best outlook for that data. So I'm looking forward to definitely seeing this. Are you ready for you to share your screen?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, sweet. I've got it up, ready to go.
All right, great. So I've got pulled up here, Amazon.com, of course. No surprises. This is where we're going to be spending some time through the free Chrome extension. This is where I'm going to also share where you can decide what parts of the Chrome extension are going to be viewable, what you can access. But let's break down kind of each different section of what you'll get once you download and add the Seller.Tools Chrome extension. First things first, I'm going to highlight the ticker. You're going to notice this horizontal bar right here in my browser. And what this allows you to do is pull up your brand or credentials to then see what relevant data we have within the Chrome extension itself. So moving from left to right, we've got total Amazon traffic. This is really neat. What this does, and we talk about brand analytics data, is it really aims to answer the question that sellers have of, is sales down for everyone else? Like me look at the past handful of days, the past few weeks. What this does is it normalizes brand analytics data, and it gives it as a score out of 100 to sort of say, hey, sales activity, traffic activity. It's actually traffic. I should clarify that. It's not sales. Traffic from brand analytics. What does that look like on a relative scale? Is it up? Is it down? And what we'll see, especially as we move further into Q4, is that you'll maybe have these more dramatic days where total traffic on Amazon is up. And then you can look at your sessions data, your sales data, to sort of see how your products, how your brand is performing relative to that brand analytics data.
I love this, Troy. It's really cool to see it from this perspective. But just to clarify, so on the left there, you've got Buds, which is your brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, or the demo brand, right, in the account.
Yep.
And then, so each of these is independent, right? So the total traffic, that's not related to Buds. That's just in general on Amazon, this is the traffic trend.
That's correct. This is the entirety of Amazon. This is actually in the ticker itself. It's the only thing that is, let's say, global, where everything else is going to be linked to your brand or credential here. As we go over to sales, MCF orders, some of the other features are going to be brand specific.
Cool.
So that was,
all right.
That was a really cool way of, like I said, we sort of looked into the Facebook groups and said, this question keeps popping up. How can we arrive at this with some of the best data? Well, brand analytics is the obvious sort of the cream of the crop. Well, if we can normalize it, we can score it, we can give you that relative sense. And that's really the way that you want to think of it is, obviously, as a seller, you can look at your business reports, you can see your sessions, you can see your sales, and you can measure that against how the total of the traffic on Amazon, how that looks directly from brand analytics. Now, as we get into more of the brand specific, let's say data and features and functions, we have sales. Now, what this does and what it sort of implies here is that you can add your products. So let's see, I'll actually add one from the account. Let's see if we have a face sheet or pull it from our Seller.Tools account, add it to the list. And then this will keep us from getting into Seller Central, refreshing, taking a look at sales figures. We wanted the convenience of the ticker to show us, obviously, in a top level view. As our brand or demo brand starts to add more units, realize more revenue, we can also then see this at the ASIN level to see those sales in real time, but see it conveniently. We can actually decide what sites this ticker is available and viewable on. So I'll actually share with you where you can customize that as well. We go into our browser. We can just pull up the Chrome extension here and decide where we want to display the ticker. So for this feature in particular, and really any of the ticker features, you can decide which specific websites you want to have it visible on. You can disable it, or of course, always leave it on Amazon, since that's where, as sellers and many of us as buyers, spend a majority of our time.
So this is just another way to show your sales. You can add certain products to your ticker sales tracker, right? And this is just a way for you to track your sales outside of logging into an app directly, or outside of another app dashboard, or your, for example, your Seller Central app dashboard.
Correct. Yep. And you can do this across in the dropdown. If you want to add in and you have synced multiple credentials, you could do this across brands, add in the most relevant products, and then make sure that that's what's visible for that sales activity for that given day.
Got it.
Awesome. The next feature is going to be for creating and managing MCF orders. This is really great for providing support or any real offers that may include the use of MCF orders. So multi-channel fulfillment orders. This is when you take your FBA inventory and send it to a customer, a vendor, really any recipient of your products. And what you can do is come in here, see and view any of your MCF orders, or create a brand new one by plugging in all the same and relevant information that you would need for who that customer or recipient is. Name, address information, shipping speed, and then of course we'll link back to the fee details, the current and relevant fees that Amazon charges for MCF orders. But this is really great. Support is where this is really helpful too, as if your team is, the whole idea is, how do we take everything where you're spending way too much time in Seller Central and make the convenience of some of those functions available to you and your team outside of logging in? Obviously, there's permissions, there's security, all of that, which can be more problematic if you just leave it to Seller Central. And this makes it that much more convenient to come in here and be able to create those MCF orders on the fly and then manage those as they're sent. Then we have our wallet feature. This is a really cool function, and I focused on the LQS and the Chrome extension for my time with you today, Amy. But what we're also very much known for is our functions with ManyChat and various rebate offers, loyalty offers, promotional programs. And this is where our wallet is featured heavily, because what this allows you to do is come in here, look at your Seller.Tools wallet and the transactions over time for recipients of, let's say, specific rebates that we've sent, which is what we can see here. The funds that we can add, or excuse me, I'm going to start with the funds, which is the bottom here. The funds we can add to our wallet, because again, we can see our current balance here of $198.77. But if we wanted to add in more funds to our wallet, we can do so by adding it right here in real time. And then that will increase our wallet balance. And then once that's done, we can send funds of various amounts to any eligible customer or recipient. So if we've done a rebate program, we're manually sending funds, we need to support a rebate program, somebody's maybe fallen out of our ManyChat flow or landing page, or however we're facilitating that, but we still need to send them funds, we can do so through the Seller.Tools wallet by adding those funds, sending them here, and then managing that activity here at the top view, resending, copying that value if we need to get that back in front of a customer. In this case, these customers have received Visa gift cards, but we have PayPal, we have Venmo, we have Amazon gift cards, pretty much a wide variety of gift cards, gift rewards that we can send a customer based on our offer, based on the details of that offer as well.
Cool. And
And
all
then
of this is included free in your Chrome extension?
So yeah, and that within the ticker, it is a free feature. Now, if you use our API, that's going to be on our starter plan. It's approximately $100 a month. Where let's say you wanted to run one rebates fully automated, where we verify the orders, we verify the ASIN, we rebate based on the correct amount, we leave out any bad actors, which is going to be one of the next features. That can be fully automated through our paid plan, but you can access the wallet completely for free if you wanted to do it, let's say, manually.
Cool.
Yeah, and then the last feature in the ticker is going to be the deny list. And as the name implies, this allows us to, whether we're using ManyChat, which many of our customers do, we can exclude anybody we want to exclude from our offers, see as maybe bad actors where they're maybe trying to abuse an offer, where we can come in here, add an entry for all the known information that we have. So again, let's say we see somebody who is trying to game our ManyChat flow, somebody we wouldn't maybe want to continue to offer or provide future offers to. We can plug in their email, phone number, the order ID, the ref IDs. And what these mean, ref ID is essentially just an open field. So if we have that customer's address line or even their hashed Amazon email, it's pretty cool how we can take whatever known data we have and just say, thanks, but no thanks, but you are not going to be eligible for this offer because our team has identified you as somebody who is kind of a bad actor, somebody we don't want to maybe further the relationship with or give future offers to. And then you can manage and view your complete list. This is actually going to direct us right back into the Seller.Tools account, but the convenience is being able to come in here, view anybody that's been added, search that information, and then add entries here as well on the fly.
Awesome.
So that is just the
basics,
the ticker
right?
alone. Say, yes, that covers some of the data we can tap into, some of the automation, and then as we go a little bit further along, we'll dive more into the optimization side of things.
It's a very different Chrome extension than any of the other tools Chrome extensions that I've seen. It's, I do like the MCF orders. That's pretty cool. I think I would like it even more if it had merchant fulfilled orders on it, that I could do those. But either way, I think that's really interesting. I think the Amazon traffic is interesting to see what's going on with traffic. I think the rebates is cool, especially if it's working with your tool, having that convenience of going kind of back and forth and seeing it on the page. And being able to display the ticker on different websites seems pretty cool. So right now, it doesn't look like you could actually use this extension for listing optimization. But
not yet. We're getting. But let's dive in because now we've got to look at search results, and then let's tap into Amazon's catalog because this is where we can really start to see how we can tap into the data and the optimization side of things. And so if I go ahead and run a search, again, I used to sell in the beauty space, so I have an affection for beauty-related products. So I went ahead and ran a search for Dead Sea Mud Mask. And then what you'll notice here is, as part of the search results, I get a feature called Keyword Insights. And this is going to cover the gamut from Seller.Tools data to brand analytics data, and then some of those exclusive metrics that I touched on as well. And so here at a glance, based on the search results for this keyword, I can see daily and monthly search volume. I can see search frequency rank. So again, as we know, search frequency rank coming from brand analytics, it's just like BSR, the lower the number, the better, the higher demand for that keyword. And each month, Amazon puts out brand analytics data. So it's about 1.5 million keywords on average. And so we get a sense of if this is a high demand keyword validated through some of that best brand analytics data. And what we take from here, this is where we start to look at some of the other exclusive metrics where we can have a little bit more fun with how do we look at the demand, and then make more informed decisions about things like purchase rate. What purchase rate is its conversion rate at the keyword level. This starts to let us know what is the discoverability of a keyword, how conversion ready is it, does it lead to more search behind the buyer intent for this keyword, to where what we can see is sometimes, and again, it's sort of a relative measure as you start to utilize it across different products and keywords, is that you'll see some that start to tick up to 6 and 7% purchase rate. And then you'll see some that are 1% or lower. And it's a really great way to validate some assumptions where as an example, I used to sell a hyaluronic acid serum. When I run a search for hyaluronic acid serum, it's also a sub 1% keyword. And that lets me know that even though it has a ton of demand and search volume, that it's almost an entryway keyword. It's a place where customers start and then continue to search and potentially use other search terms or keywords before finalizing their purchase. And so it
So
really
this would be
rounds
a
out.
great place for you to find and decide on your, to help you decide on what your main keyword should be. So like your page one keyword that you really want to aim for, that medium tail keyword that contains Dead Sea, right? Dead Sea mud mass, but maybe there's a better medium tail keyword to long tail keyword that you could aim for first with an even higher purchase rate. But then you still have Dead Sea mud mass inside of that keyword. I can see this being really, really valuable. What's a good purchase rate? Like, what would be a good purchase rate to go after, for example, for your one of your top 3 keywords for your listing?
Yeah, a good rule of thumb is to think about the lower that purchase rate, the more emphasis that you need to have. I think you hit it right on the head. Is you start to that lower purchase rate is really reinforcing for you as the seller. You need to spend more time on your mid and longer tail keywords. It's sort of saying there is a lot of interest, and again, this is where some of these prior metrics validate interest. We know there's a ton of demand, but is there a demand where there's a diffuse search or interaction from a customer where they're plugging in other keywords or they're spending time on sponsored and then organic results, but they're not going through this one individual keyword, landing, searching, and buying? There's more discoverability that's taking place. And that reinforces for you as the seller of, okay, let me look at maybe, we talked about the back in the day where we'd sit around with a few beers. We'd spend a little bit more time on that spreadsheet, find some longer tail keywords, find some other ways we can maybe back into that product and make sure that we're well positioned, we're optimized, and we can reliably launch. Because one of the next metrics is also unit sales, and so this is also estimated sales at the keyword. And so when you start to look at both the sales volume, so the kind of the revenue and sales potential, and then the conversion readiness, that helps to even paint a more clear picture. You're really starting to see everything come together for the keyword insights, hence the name of this feature. Because what you may find is if that purchase rate is really low and the unit sales is very high, as you look at your inventory, your capital to be able to launch for your product against that keyword, you may determine that there's a major imbalance there. We see a ton of sales against this keyword, but we see a very low conversion rate. So you need to run your numbers and make sure, hey, can I generate enough organic or manipulated, let's say, or launch specific sales to organically hold that position for the keyword
Right.
that I am searching? And
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense. And then in terms of your search frequency rank, where we see that SFR 127,225, I know a lot of people don't realize that the search frequency rank, the lower the number, the higher it is searched on Amazon. A lot of people will see a search frequency rank in brand analytics in the millions and they'll go, ooh, that's a good keyword. But it's not. It's the lower the number, the better. So in this case, I see 127,000. Well, in the beauty category, that's actually a decent search frequency rank because beauty has over 1 million products in it. So that's not a bad search frequency rank, but also I would be looking at that, and I love how it shows up right here because I trust that in brand analytics data. There's other tools that use brand analytics data, but they don't necessarily show the brand analytics data right here on the page. So I like seeing that search frequency rank here, and it tells me that I would want to actually search for this on brand analytics and see what other keywords are searched even higher to give myself some better ideas, which I'm guessing is going to come also maybe from your more keyword insights button there. But I don't want to move ahead. So you also said your unit sales, the 565 unit sales. So it's saying those people that came to Amazon.com and typed in Dead Sea Mud Mask and purchased a unit of any brand under that keyword without typing in, for face, for whatever, that is the unit sales. Am I accurate? And is that per month or?
That's correct. Yeah. And I'll go ahead and, so I'm not burying the lead here, to pull up the more keyword insights, because this actually will then start breaking down the different time frames for unit sales. Where we can look at 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days that we estimate, and you're spot on. It's the sales that are against that we can estimate for that keyword that we've searched.
That is very valuable data. And I see there you have the top 3 ASINs, which is what we would see in brand analytics. But what's great about that is you're actually seeing images right there. You don't get that in brand analytics. You got to click around and find it. So I love that you're letting me cheat. I think you have a winner here. I'm going to have to install another tool. Dang it. I love it though.
I'm sorry to be a problem.
It's really cool. I mean, I right now am going into brand analytics to get this search frequency data and get some more information. The only thing I would say that I wish that the tool showed me is other related keywords, right? That maybe have a higher search frequency rank right from here, right? But it looks like I have to type that in manually. That's okay. I love that I can come right back here and see everything right on the page without having to have like the 6 clicks that I have to just get to one product from brand analytics.
Right. I think, and Amy too, we should be able to deliver on what you're looking for probably in the next 2 weeks, without over promising. It is sort of it brings in what we've touched on, and it sounds like exactly what you're looking for, where we want to take auto suggest and sort of put it on steroids, because what often is the problem, and we've been guilty of this, and this has been a challenge for many tools, is that, pardon me clicking around, is looking at a keyword both ways. The challenge when you run a search here on Amazon, just as an example, is that it only looks at one direction. It only auto suggests for face organic. Well, what if organic Dead Sea Mud Mask is the literal term or keyword that a customer is searching? And so what we'll be releasing still as part of the free Chroma extension is a tool and solution that does both. We're going to get organic Dead Sea Mud Mask, and we're going to see Dead Sea Mud Mask organic. We're going to capture customers however they search, however that buyer intent shows up in the keyword form. We'll have that. We'll have it with the search frequency rank, and then allow us to add those keywords to our keyword tracker too, so we keep a very close eye on our performance for those.
Love it. And I just want to say hi to Nathan Clark. And then Jim says, hi, Troy and Amy, some cool features with the search frequency rank and PR and more keyword insights. So definitely Jim is liking these features as well. We didn't cover yet. We covered unit sales. We didn't cover top 3 clicks dominance and top 3 sales dominance. I'm going to let you explain it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So this is right from brand analytics. And for better or worse, brand analytics, it caps at the top 3 ASINs for any specific search term. And so it breaks it down by clicks dominance. So who earns the click when a search is completed. And then the top 3 sales is, once that click is earned, who earns the sales? And it breaks it down across those 3 ASINs as a percentage. And
but you're doing something different here. You're adding up those percentages.
Yes. Yeah. That way we can start to see. I do notice here, though, and this is where brand analytics, we have a mostly love and sometimes hate relationship. It looks like there's a bit of an anomaly here from some of the data. And so I don't see a purchase percent for this ASIN. I see that the click percent is passed through just fine. But what this does, just to kind of give the zoomed out macro level view, is that this gives you as a seller, whether you're looking at sourcing a product or you're just looking at the competitive landscape, it gives you an idea of the distribution, right? Is there a clear winner? Which in this
Yes.
case,
Can I break into this market, right? If
exactly.
I'm going to sell under this keyword, and this is going to be my main keyword, the top 3 competitors are taking 89% of the clicks. So there's only 11% of the clicks to get from that. And then the top 3 competitors for this particular keyword are also taking 87% of the conversions. So my chance to break into Dead Sea mud mask with a brand new brand on Amazon they're not great. I would not want to see these kind of numbers and be thinking about starting a brand new brand under Dead Sea mud mask. Not only that, I'm not crazy about the search frequency rank as well as some of the other things. So I don't know that I would want to break into this market. It seems like it's pretty steady and that the top 3 sellers are taking most of the market. They're right where they need to be. It's great data to have.
Absolutely. And it's a great point. And you touched on it too as well, Amy. And I think it's great to use number of tools that especially to kind of meet some of your specific needs, or whether how the data is presented or unique data points or approaches. And this is where, for me, I'm a big fan of, so we have our own reverse ASIN tool. It's R2A, and it incorporates this same brand analytics data, but it does a few other things as well. If we were to come in and run a search, let's say across these top 3 ASINs, we could also add in our product or potential product and see how we're performing. If we're already in market, we're already selling an ASIN in this category, we may want to see how we're doing at the keyword level. Do we have the best keyword rank? Are we indexing for that keyword? We can sort of see more specifically how we're doing, because I think that's one of the biggest missed opportunities with keyword research. You may do a ton on the front end, but then you got to do it consistently over time.
Right. And what I love about what you have up right here, for example, if and Debbie asked, what if we are already in the market? So Debbie, let's pretend that you're selling a Dead Sea mud mask, which I know you're not, but let's just pretend that you are. Right here where Troy has this up, we see that 74% for this particular keyword, 74% of the clicks are going to this first competitor there, this first ASIN. And not only that, look at how much of the conversion they're getting. They're getting also 75% of the conversions. And then we see the rest of these guys, this second one here with the red and yellow and white, terrible branding. I mean, it's not good branding at all. They're only getting 7% of the clicks for this keyword, but they are getting 12% of the purchases. So that's interesting. Okay, people are buying from them. I would want to know a little bit more about them. So as Troy mentioned, this is one that you could reverse search, because if I'm one of those lower level brands and I want to kind of break in, I could see, okay, well, why is this one on the left getting 75% of the conversions? What's going on with them? I would be studying their brand. And then I would be looking at this one that's getting 12% of the conversions. And then we see the third one there that supposedly is getting 0% of the conversions. Sometimes brand analytics is like that. But either way, they're getting 7% of the clicks and 0% of the conversions. It looks like they're just trying to copy this other brand. It looks like they just came into the market. They saw that this other brand is doing really, really well. Maybe they didn't have this brand analytics data and they're just like, I'm going to copy them. I'm going to do the same branding. I'm going to, and I'm going to try to take some of their sales. Well, they're not. Ultimately, the customer is deciding to purchase the one that we see on the left. But some customers are purchasing the poorly branded one in the middle. And so I would want to search them. I saw in the suggested search terms, it said made in Israel. That's important to people since, the Dead Sea happens to be in that area, in that region of the world. So it looks like that's important. Maybe this particular brand, they only have 12% of the conversions for Dead Sea Mud Mask, but maybe for another one like Made in Israel, maybe they're the number one clicked ASIN, and they have more conversions over there. So if, Debbie, I was a brand already in the market, I would be studying these competitors and what their keywords are, and I would be looking for my closest competitor and where the opportunity lies. How can I capture more of the market? It doesn't have to be for this keyword. This keyword doesn't look great, right? But what does a Dead Sea Mud Mask do for you? It might, Troy's in beauty. He might know, right? But, it might clear out your pores or something like that, right? So we can look for keywords right? Facial mask for clear pores, something like that, right? And we could start studying other keywords that we could rank for, that there's a little bit more opportunity. What do you think, Troy? What would you do if you were already in the market and you saw that, oh man, these are my top 3 competitors, they're stealing all the traffic? What would you do?
Yeah. I'm gonna shamelessly plug another part of the feature too, because this is exactly what I would do if I was coming in here and I was still selling a Dead Sea Mud Mask product. Because I'm actually gonna scroll down and we're gonna see some of the other enhanced search results as part of the Chrome extension. Yes, and what this will let us see is, okay, I can see across all the search results, and we can look at top positions, whether it's sponsored, top organic, highly visible competitors. What I can see in terms of their search performance is the keywords that they're ranking in top position 50 or better, positions top 6 or better. So this is like a scale where we can start to see, hey, how generally visible are they? Then how dominant are they? How many keywords do they have in the top 6 positions where they're really winning on page 1, as well as how many keywords that they have that are in brand analytics. So in that really small
you
subset.
Can't even get this from brand analytics. Like, you would have to do 40 billion searches in brand analytics manually. Stop it with your tools, Troy. Stop it. I like this.
This is where it's great though, because then you can see, this is a great way to validate assumptions where, and I know this again from selling in beauty, where you're like, where did these sellers come from? Where did these products all of a sudden they're spiked up to page 1, but are they really winning? Are they gaming the system? Are they really winning for a certain set of keywords? And this is where I can validate them, because I can come in here, look at the true keyword dominance. Are they winning for some of the most important keywords and most important data? And then I would take that and hop back over into Seller.Tools and run our reverse ASIN search. And that's actually kind of what I've got pulled up here, is like, when I look at the data from the Chrome extension, I always bring it back in, because then I want to run that reverse ASIN across those ASINs, and then tap into both the brand analytics data that we have in the search results, the search volume, and then the rank density. This is another one of my favorite filters. I don't necessarily have to go too far into R2A, but that is our reverse ASIN tool, to where once I start to see, I have the sneaking suspicion that maybe some of these competitors have done kind of poorly. So this is a great example of somebody that doesn't belong. Well, it's a sponsored result for a green tea mask. Not quite relevant, but if I scroll down a little bit further and I start to see who's absolutely crushing it, top result, of course, doing really well, I can come in here and start to see who's doing a little bit better. That's really worthwhile for me to come in and do either a reverse ASIN across a number of my competitors, or what we also call or refer to as kind of like a heads up search, where I'll see, okay, this seller has a healthy amount of keyword visibility. Let me run that ASIN in R2A and then compare it to my product, where I can run my ASIN search against that. Really powerful, because that's usually one of the missing links when you talk about keyword research a year into selling your brand. We're so accustomed to kind of doing keyword research in a vacuum, where we just look at data. But then what really matters is, how are we doing? How are we doing at that keyword level? Are we tracking our keywords? Are we indexed? Are we outperforming by having better ranking? And that's where R2A sort of lets us close that circle, confirm based on what we see in terms of the data, but then be able to tap into it right here, kind of at a click away.
I like that you're showing me how much visibility and dominance they have organically, because right now I'm doing this manually. When I'm preparing to write a listing for a client and I'm looking for the best keywords, of course, I'm using brand analytics. I'm looking at those top 3 click ASINs. I'm reverse searching them. I'm doing all of that. But what's cool about this is it shows me exactly how dominant they are, right? And then I know even if they're the top 3 click ASIN for one keyword, I now can start seeing actually how dominant they are. Right now, like I mentioned, I'm doing this manually. I'm bringing up some of those top keywords and looking at the search pages and seeing if I see that same listing across multiple, then I know to add that to my competitive analysis. But you're doing that for me. You're showing me on the page exactly what keywords, exactly what players are dominant in the space for how many keywords. So it just gives me more data on who I should be reverse searching outside of the top 3 clicked ASINs for what I think is the main keyword. I think it's a really cool way to do it. And Jim agrees. Jim says, wow.
That's awesome. Great to hear, Jim. Yeah, this is really cool, because then, like I said, this is where, and this is sort of how to a little bit of insight into our thought process, is that we wanted the data to not present the problem, but it sort of gives you the opportunity from which you can then bring that back into running that more knowledgeable reverse ASIN, running your monthly checks of, okay, new competitor on the block, or competitor all of a sudden, they've hired a new agency that knows what they're doing. They're, really increase their organic keyword dominance. Well, you can come in here, again, pull that result, prioritize that for your R2A or your reverse ASIN search, and then see how your product is doing as well.
And it gives them some idea too into where they're getting their traffic from, right?
Absolutely.
Like this guy, Natural Riches, his BSR is not as good. I don't know why I'm calling it a boy. I'm just assuming that it's a boy. Okay. So his BSR is 78,000 as compared to the Tea Tree one there on the left. A Naru, I don't know what kind of word that is, but okay.
I was going to let you take that one.
But their BSR is 13,000, and they only have organic position 6 or better for 9 keywords. And but now we can start looking at, okay, their price is higher, and their actual amount is lower, right? It's a smaller container, it looks like. So now I can start looking at it from a customer perspective and go, okay, why is it they have a better BSR, but compared to Natural Riches, they're ranking for like nothing, What happens, Troy, if I click on that 115?
So there's not a function for that right now.
Okay.
For those organic, we can, if we bring them over into R2A, there is just a little bit of a manual step there. But if we bring it over into the tool, so actually, let me just do it since I just keep referring to it. And then I next my prior results, if I drop that ASIN in and run a search, it may just take a moment just because I'm screen sharing, but then it will run a reverse ASIN, find all the keywords that product then ranks for, as well as brand analytics data, Amazon suggested data, Amazon sponsored data, all of that we can manipulate for that product to then really hone in on what those keywords look like.
Got it. Okay, cool. And that's where I can bring it in. Now, we said that the extension is free because Debbie and Jim said, I think that Debbie and Jim should get a special deal for being here today. Did I say that out loud? But Debbie, the tool is free. So
yeah.
So we could give you a special deal, but in terms of if I want to bring it into this tool to do some reverse searches, is that part of a paid plan, or can you get so many searches a month for free? How does that work?
Yep, there's actually you can do free searches up to a point, and then you move right into a paid plan. So you can run R2A for free. I'd actually encourage you to do so and run through this same process, and then you can sort of see, hey, hopefully you enjoy the tool, you like to use it, And then you can move up to more of the paid plans as you use it more.
Got it. Cool. So there's no excuse for you guys not to try this, not to use it, because it's free 99, free. And Christina says, hey, I'm here too. So, Christina, you get it for free too. And Debbie says, I will pay for yours, Christina.
We all need a friend like Debbie.
Well, this is so cool. Okay. I'm upset. I'm upset that I have to add another tool to my repertoire. I mean, man, and I'm going to have to update my listing optimization SOPs now. Troy, you're making more work for me.
Well, I'm not even done. We haven't even got into listing quality score yet.
Oh my God. Wait, there's more. Okay.
There is more.
Let's figure out what this Dead Sea guy is doing, because clearly his listing must be better because he's selling more.
Exactly. Well, and I'm going to let you keep saying the brand name multiple times. We'll see if we can get it right.
And I can't. Okay.
We'll never forget that. We'll never forget. But now that we're in the detail page, this is where both LQS and we also have the ability to download reviews. As this implies, this is where you can come in, filter down some of the results. This is a valuable activity, especially if you're sourcing a product or looking to further optimize your product. Yeah.
No, there's not a reviews downloader. I didn't know about this. This is so cool. We actually use reviews to create, titles for YouTube videos, stuff like that. I mean, and you can use reviews to come up with really great keywords and focuses for your listings. So I can download all of the reviews.
Absolutely. Yep.
For free.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. We have clients that will do, thousands, tens of thousands of reviews. They'll come in here to start to comb through, harvest any critical reviews, opportunities to improve. Look at any positive reviews. Is there potential for user-generated content, outreach? All kinds of potential that you can do once those reviews are live. But then come in here, and then you can download them once you filter them down as you'd like.
Oh my goodness, that's cool. Okay. I was already sold. Okay.
Hey, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, because now LQS, this is again probably my favorite because it's so specific, where again we sort of comb through and find where the challenges are, where is there missed revenue or missed potential for a listing, because we can see here LQS, the top score, it's out of 1,000 because we look at 33 different metrics, different variables to arrive at this total score. So when we click on it, we're going to get the full breakdown of what the total LQS is. As we can see here, the 623 out of 1,000. And then there's three.
So according to you guys, these people are at 62%. So they're at like kind of like a D.
Yes. Yes.
They're not doing great with their listing. Okay, cool. I'm listening.
Yep. And then we break it down into three different sections that we identify sort of different scores. So we look at keyword quality, where again we look at what keywords are used. Are you making effective use of the real estate on Amazon in terms of the number of keywords, which is great. Character counts are fairly popular. They're out there. What makes this different is it will also look at the quality. And by that, I mean, are we indexed in Amazon's catalog for the keywords that we've used? Because that sort of lets us know, is there missed opportunities? I kind of like to think of this as an insurance policy. For using keywords, we want to be indexed in Amazon's catalog. That's absolutely essential, or it's a completely missed opportunity. It's a blank in terms of our use of a specific keyword or phrase. We'll also look at the media quality, where again, we know how important assets are on a product detail page, whether it's our main image, related video shorts, EBC A+, you name it. We'll look at it. We'll identify based on Amazon style guidelines, again, the number of images utilized, are they high quality or high resolution? We'll identify those. And then lastly, conversion quality score. So again, if our listing is doing great, we're welcoming all this traffic, how truly conversion ready are we to realize more revenue or see or spot if there's the potential for
so they're doing really good on the conversion side, which we see in their BSR, but they have room to improve and could even be doing better with their media and their keyword quality. So which
Absolutely.
contributes to their overall listing quality score. I think that's so cool. Like, you guys are giving Helium 10 a run for their money here. I mean, but it's free, y'all. So
Exactly. And use every tool in your disposal. I would always encourage, and Amy, you see this too
yeah,
from highlighting so many tools. It's if you use 5 different tools, you may run the cost of that and say, hey man, that cost me $300-400, $500 a month. Then you think, man, hiring somebody to do the same thing that this does for me instantly without human error, human delays, it's I'm a big tool and automation fan. So use
yep.
everything in your disposal.
Yep, I love it. Like I said, I've got like 6 different, now 7 different tools that I use on like a daily basis. But it's just like, you use the tools that you can really use the data, and it presents it in a way that you can make informed decisions. So that's really great. So you've brought up, now you've clicked on the caret next to listing quality score, and you're showing us what goes into that listing quality score. So we can see what happens if you hover over that exclamation point next to bullet point number 1, 255 characters? You got an exclamation point.
Yeah.
So recommended is greater than 400?
At 400 or greater for each one of these sections in a listing.
Why is that? So I usually try to keep my bullet points under 400 characters.
Interesting. For us, it's really the use of that real estate for, and this is where the character counts, I sort of have a love-hate relationship with as well, because it is the use of that real estate. But this is where some of the next pieces is. It's often what's missing if you look at
what's indexed.
Exactly. It's the quantity, which is the character count, and then it's the quality. How are we indexed or performing for those keywords with respect to Amazon's catalog? So where you may sacrifice or be willing to go a little bit lower number there, it's making sure that the keywords and phrases that you're using, are they performing in terms of how Amazon views your listing. And so
you can actually see if your bullet points are indexed. So you can use this to check your own listing. So you're just clicking on the check indexing score for each bullet point. Oh my gosh, this is going to help with launch too.
So I can come in here and check in real time. You'll see it's highlighting my listing and look at every portion of it to see if my keywords are indexed or not. Isn't it though? I know this is probably my favorite.
This is so cool. Yes. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to play around with this tool. It's like insane.
And it's great to, I picked this random product that we took a look at, but these are great ones to always stay on top of, and they're always evolving, because a Dead Sea mud mask, and you were touching on this too, where the benefits, the key ingredients, the product as to what it is, for face, for body, leave on. There's a lot of different, maybe longer tail keywords and other keywords that you can kind of back into a product just by the benefits and uses. And this is where these tend to pop up with your index. It's where you can literally be missing opportunities where, oh man, that key ingredient, I'm not showing up for, but there's relevant search and buying intent behind it that you want to make sure to capture. So detoxifying, man, that is a big one to not be indexed for, because I know from selling this product, that's like one of the ways you describe the benefits of using a Dead Sea mud mask.
Detoxifying, moisturizing. They're not even indexed. I wonder if they that's interesting. Okay, wait. I'm about to get excited. You have a description, A+ contact, EBC indexer checker.
We do.
No
so we'll come down here.
So I always argue with people that the text inside of your A+ content does index.
And spot on.
The rumor out there is that A+ content does not index. You have to use the keywords behind your photos, which is true. You do have to use the keywords behind photos, because text on photos doesn't index, but every text field in a listing indexes. And this is showing us that is true.
Yep, absolutely. Wow. That's spot on. Yep, we can see in here. So a lot of the descriptors here we're not indexed for. Calming, soothe. Some of these I'm maybe okay with as a brand, but nourish, these are description. These are ways that you can sort of speak to what the benefits of the product are. And this is, like I said, I refer to it as insurance without knowing you don't know. Like, you have to be able to really run that check to see and confirm, and hopefully it gives you peace of mind. And if not, it lets you know what you need to be doing next to
Well, the other
reposition.
thing that it does is it will help you prioritize the keywords in your back end search terms.
There you go. Yep.
Right? Because you can see, okay, I'm not indexed for this. I am indexed for this. Let me put some of these in my back end search terms or in my more details tab so that I can get a higher chance of indexing for those, or even using the Q&A section, right? Having somebody ask a question about that, and then you write the answer using all these terms that you're not indexed for, because Q&A and reviews index. So yeah, really cool. I love this. I love it. It's so cool. All right. There, you guys give way too much value. Way too much value. You got to stop with that.
That's what we're trying to do. That's definitely what we're trying to do, is we want to really provide enough value through some of the free tools and solutions, where if we can have you come back in and use more of the platform as well, where, you know, it sort of make sure to solve some of those things, you know, we'll earn some great long-term customers that we can really make sure we're delivering some value on. So, but yeah. And then, so what we also look at in terms of the keyword quality is we just make sure the footprint, ultimately, it's ideal to be in at least one subcategory. And then if you can be in multiple, that again widens your footprint in the Amazon catalog for searchability, and ensures that you're more likely and hopefully more easily searched and visible. Then
everybody wants the tool. We're getting all kinds of check-ins. Angel says, yes, I want it. Debbie says, I don't understand what he's talking about, but I can't wait to. Marina says, cool. Jim says, holy cow. And then, oh yeah, Jim also offered to pay for it today, ladies. He said, it's my shout today, ladies. So
I love it. Everybody's feeling in a given mood.
I know. Everyone's giving. This is the season. We're getting into the season of giving. It's good to get it out ahead of time. Okay, so wait a minute. What happens if we click on, oh, we're not even through media quality yet.
No,
okay.
Yeah, we've got to look at, and one thing you'll notice is that the keyword quality score, it actually increased as we looked at and checked off more of the indexation. And this can go either way, depending on the quantity and the quality of keywords that are indexed. That can impact your keyword quality score. So we know we have some room here, because again, you can add in as many keywords and phrases as you would like, but also address those indexed keywords, or misindexed in this case, that are not indexed, that you're using in your listing, thinking this is going to generate, traffic, this is going to generate conversions, but we've got to be indexed. That's the baseline for performance there. Then what we look at for media quality is we will look at the image count. Are you making the most of the real estate you've got here? Above the fold, use of main images, even if these are higher quality images that break down different features, different benefits, we still want to make the most of the use of that, those image counts. As we know, as a ranking factor, customer spending more time on a product detail page and interacting with media is a page interaction. It's very beneficial for us to welcome more of that from more customers. We'll also crawl the images to make sure that they meet Amazon style guidelines. So we'll look at the main image. Is it high resolution? Do we have the additional images as high resolution? So again, since we're missing that 9th image, missed opportunity.
This morning, I did a listing review on it was a tea listing, and it was like, I couldn't zoom in on any of the images. I couldn't even see what the images were. So I love that you're just giving this kind of top level view here, because I think a lot of people, they don't understand the, what size their images should be, why they're not zoomable if they are. Sometimes they'll grab the wrong version of an image and upload it. So I love that you're just kind of checking it for them. The other tools that do this give a very high level overview and score, and you're going in really in depth here and providing just a lot of great information. Like, you've got, are they using a video on image 7? Which, why aren't they using a video on image 7? That's what customers are looking for. And then you've got, are they using related video shorts? I'm guessing those are the related videos that show up down in the bottom in your reviews.
That's correct. And we want that coming from the brand. And so we can
Got it.
actually see, in this case, it looks like too, there's either a competitor or somebody who knows that they can take over this real estate, and they're capturing that related video shorts. This is a valuable section in a listing that you want to make sure you take advantage of. And that's where we'll look at and say, hey, is a video coming from this brand to make the most of that real estate? And then we'll also just do a general check of making sure EBC or A+ content, if that brand is eligible, absolutely use some of this space within a listing to, yes, use your keywords in an effective way, but all the other media, the assets that we that we can as sellers to really build out our detail page.
All right, I'm excited. Let's get into conversion quality score.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So conversion quality, as the name sort of implies, is that we're looking at what different levers are we pulling to make sure we welcome as many conversions, as much revenue as possible for the traffic that we're welcoming. So are we running a promotion? Now you can be running 3 or more promotions, let's say, to make sure that we are truly conversion ready. Can we be welcoming more sales for this product? Are we using a discounted sales price or MSRP or retail price that's being presented to customers? The use of coupons. As we know, this can be presented in the search results as well as on the listing itself. These are really effective ways to help support conversion readiness. And then, Amy, you touched on questions. Making the use of that real estate, it's often overlooked of thinking about it from an optimization perspective. So welcoming keyword-rich questions and answering them with different keywords, making sure that you've got the use of the Q&A effectively for a listing. And we can't look at conversions without thinking about reviews too, where again, we want to look at both the quantity and the quality. So our current star rating, we of course want that to be visible as 4.5 at the very least. So 4.2 will get us there for the visual for that rating. The minimum number of reviews, the top reviews being 5 stars. So again, if we scroll down and if we were to click through,
their first review that's showing up.
We'll look at the top reviews, and then the top reviews ideally with an image or video. It's a really great way to then support. We can see there's one here, but potential to have more media, images, video from customers that will help and positively impact those conversions as well. Then top positive and critical review. I won't click over, but of course, if you click on see all reviews, your top positive review, you want that to be 5 stars, and then your top critical review, it's sort of the best of the worst thing that somebody has said. You would ideally want that to be 3 stars so that people get a sense that, yeah, maybe somebody didn't have a great experience, but they maybe still had some good things to say about your product, your brand, the buying experience. And we'll also look at reviews from other countries. How is the performance, the feedback in terms of reviews for top reviews other countries, and then the top reviews that include images? We see there's a few in here. But if we can take advantage of all that real estate and have another one here, and positively impact the review or rating there, that can make sure that, of course, we are more ready to earn welcome conversions for any given listing. And that then informs our total score. So, Amy, we did a little bit better once we actually ran some of the checks, but we can see where there may be some disparity and what specific areas that we can address to start getting this product moving in a different direction and have it perform even that much better.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Okay. I can't even. It's really cool. Like when you said you had brand analytics data, like I said, I was like, man, I know a lot of tools. I've seen a lot of cool tools, but now I have to have this cool tool as well. I think everybody else is excited about it too. Well, we've been going for an hour, Troy, an hour and 10 minutes. I would like to save everyone's brains from complete mind-blowedness, if that's even a word, I don't know. But I think everyone's excited to get out there and try this. Anything you want to tell everybody before we sign off today?
Yeah, I would just encourage you, run LQS on your own listings. You can run it, of course, on competitors. So I went on just a random listing in this case, but run it on your competitors, see where they're missing the mark. But ultimately, I would just highly encourage you to run it on your own products. For us, it was like, oh, these are the things that may be missing, or we just didn't overlook. It creates a checklist. One thing that we're doing, and so you can sort of think of it in the same way, is that we're encouraging aggregators to say, hey, when you're going through your due diligence and you're vetting these products and brands, incorporate LQS into the process. We have one that's doing this because they can sort of say, okay, here's the performance now, here's the potential for what we can do next, and how they can potentially further optimize even a perceivably winning listing. But they can do so in a kind of a data-driven way. So I would start with LQS and then have some fun with some of the other free features as well.
I can't wait. All right. Well, I think everybody is going to be downloading this today. I put the link in the comments to download this cool tool, free Chrome extension by Seller.Tools. I'm going to hide the screen so we can get back to us again. And I just thank you so much, Troy. That was so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm seriously so excited. I can't wait. It's going to be another cool tool that I talk about all the time.
I love it. I love it.
And I
I'm so
know
glad
a
to
lot
hear
of
it.
people are going to try it and give feedback. And so I think you've already got some great reviews on the Chrome store. Hopefully we can get that up for you as well, and
That'd be awesome.
and spread the word, because it's really a lot of value that you're providing for free. I mean, it's more than a lot of the Chrome extensions out there that I've seen. So just thank you guys for having so much value in your tool, and coming on the show today and helping me play around with it and add another tool to my collection, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really glad to hear it. It's been my pleasure. And like I said, we've got even more coming, and it's going to be on the free side too. So hopefully those that are getting access, you can kind of play around with some of the other things that are coming. But I appreciate it. It was really fun to dive into all the stuff that we get to nerd out on, right?
Yes. And then where should people follow and find you?
Mhm.
How do people connect with Troy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would love for those that are interested to join us in our Facebook group, FBA Kings. It's put together by myself, the team at Seller.Tools. Great community, very supportive. Definitely reach out if you have any questions. Reach me at hello@seller.tools. Whether it's my team, whether it's me, that we can help you with the resources, direction. You got it. We'll gladly support it, support you guys. But yeah, would hopefully love to hear from you soon. Let me know what you're up to. Q4, this is going to be such a interesting time for us as sellers and brand owners. So excited to make the most of it.
Yes, and one final plug. As you guys know, I've got Marketing Mastery coming up on this Friday, October the 15th in Austin, Texas. So definitely, join us for that. We're going to be in person in Austin, Texas, October 15th. And it's going to just be a great session where we can learn more about marketing your products, and that's at sellermeetup.com. So you guys join us there in Austin, Texas. We're not doing it virtually, so you got to be there in person. It's a small crowd, and we're just going to get after it and get it done and learn what to do with our products, not only during Q4, but in Q1 and beyond. We're going to talk about additional sales channels. Obviously, I'm going to have to bring up this cool Chrome extension there as well. We're going to talk about listing optimization. We're going to talk about all of those things in a really cool networking format. So make sure you guys get your tickets this week. It's the last week to get the tickets. So you're going to get all the spam this week from us selling you guys tickets, because we want to see you there. We want to connect with you. So Troy, thank you so much for being here with me today. And thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button. We just appreciate you guys so much. And today we, on the Seller Roundtable, we have Chelsea Cohen from So Stocked, and we're just going to hang out, and that's at sellerroundtable.com/live. So I will see you guys there in like 45 minutes. Woo, it's a long day for me today.
It is.
I love what I do, so it's good stuff. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time in our next cool tool review. Bye.
Bye.